while it was in my childhood days.
Hey, Willbroski here, and today we have a brand new speed build called the Craftsman Lodge. Now this lodge is built in the beautiful world of Granite Falls, and it's supposed to be a very rustic yet classy lodge, big fancy expensive lodge, about 2,000 simoleons a day, with bits of Craftsman style architecture and furniture inside to give it that rustic look, but very classy and fancy. This is going to be a 3-part video because I took my time on this build because I really wanted to get it right, because I've been really wanting to do this for a long time. I've been drawing sketches of it and I just gotten lots of inspiration, and I'm very glad that I finally finished it. So I took lots of time on this. So it's a 3-part series. The first part is going to be just the exterior and kind of like the shape of the rooms and stuff, and the next part will be furnishing, and the final part will be landscaping. So if you want to skip ahead to once I get those few up and not watch this one because this is only the exterior, you can go ahead. Once I get them all up, I'll have the links in the description so you can just see the furnishing if you want, or you can just see the landscaping and the end product. So yeah. This was a really nice build. I really liked it a lot. It's one of my favorites. The Craftsman style is so beautiful, and like lots of rich dark woods and very earthy, yet still really earthy but classy. Just looks really, it's really nice. And I got inspiration from a few places on this build. The first one would be the video game called Until Dawn. I've watched another YouTuber play it, and I really like the game. The game looks really cool, and but the house that they were in the video game. So the premise of the game is they go to a secluded cabin, and a whole bunch of, it's a horror game, so a whole bunch of horror stuff happens. I don't know. It's hard to explain, but they go to this really big, fancy lodge, kind of contemporary, and I really liked it. And sometimes I was more focused on the lodge itself than the actual premise of the video game. So that's what I decided I wanted to do a lodge in The Sims 4 because I haven't really done any type of lodge yet, and I want to do a nice big fancy lodge like in the video game. And so yeah, and that's what kind of boosted everything. And then my second inspiration, because I wanted to build a lodge, was the Grand Californian at the California Adventure theme park in Disneyland, California, Anaheim. And that is a really beautiful hotel. It's a Craftsman style, like rustic lodge hotel, kind of like what this looks like. And it's such a really beautiful hotel, and it's based off of kind of like the redwoods or the Sierra Nevadas of California, kind of the more foresty side. And I just think it looks really quite beautiful. So I tried to influence some Craftsman style architecture and furniture with the dark woods and clean lines and stuff. And then the third place that I kind of got inspiration from was the new Disneyland hotels, like the Aulani ones in Hawaii, and they all have how the front of this Craftsman Lodge, how it has that kind of peaked roof, like the roof goes all the way to the ground and it's curved. That's the Aulani Lodge, kind of has that same style, and I thought it looked kind of cool, and I thought I could do it in The Sims 4, so I did, and I really like that. It's like kind of the centerpiece of the build from the front. And yeah, I promise I'm not sponsoring Disney. I just think they do a really good job with their hotels and architecture and stuff. They look really beautiful. So yeah, this is a quite expensive, very expensive hotel for your Sims, or rental for your Sims. It's like 2,000 simoleons a day. So yeah, but it has like all the amenities. It'll have like a sauna, a pool, it'll have a hot tub in the middle of the pool, it'll have like an outdoor seating area, it has an extra pool house, it has like 4 bedrooms inside, there's a bar, there's a movie theater room, and a nice big kitchen. It's really humongous, very fancy, but classy lodge. And yeah, I'm just really happy with this build. I haven't, I wanted to take my chance on doing, because everyone does their lodge, like kind of all the simmers on YouTube, they have all done their lodge, so wanted to throw my input in. Well, that doesn't make any sense. I wanted to do my own. And so yeah. Okay, so here you can see I finished basically the whole, what the whole front looks like. Just kind of, you can see that room with the balcony. That side will be the master bedroom. Then there's that big tall, on the other side, the opposite, there's big tall windows, and that's kind of nice little jut out and makes it a little different. Lots of river rock and dark woods, as I said, for the Craftsman architecture. I think I really like it, and it looks very earthy, but yet very classy, as I've said a million times. And so yeah, and so that window, there's like items in The Sims 4 that are supposed to be Spanish, but they look very like really Craftsman to me. Like that window on the arched entryway above the door, that looks like crazy Craftsman to me. It's just me. And some of the furniture you'll see inside, like the couches I use in the next speed build, those look really Craftsman. So here I was trying to fit a window in there because I didn't know if I wanted to like fill up the space, but I thought it looked kind of good because like this is big structure, and it'll need like a lot of support, and kind of looks more rustic. I didn't want to make it too fancy. Yeah, and I made up a little story on this. You can see in on the gallery when I uploaded it. I put a little story. The people who own most of the land in Granite Falls wanted to make a little piece of their own paradise at Granite Falls, so they built this huge cabin, very expensive, very big. And then they didn't realize how much it cost. I'm gonna explain that for a second. So the roof, when I did that roofing, it jutted into the building a little more, and you could see it's kind of like a glitch, and you could see the inside. You could see the roof on the inside, and I didn't like that because I didn't think it looked good. So I just put those there, and I fill them with rock, kind of like their support structures. This is very big structure. And yeah. And so here I make a giant grand room with lots of big windows and then a fireplace in the middle. When I first did, I kind of did a copy of this before, just so my videos weren't as long, because my videos have been really long because I'm a slower builder. And here you can see that's a big grand entrance room, kind of like the what am I gonna say? Like the living room. There's no TV in there, it's just a big fireplace and lots of big windows. I just think that looks really nice. It makes me feel warm and cozy, and I really like I want to go and sit by the fire there and look out the window. Very classy. Yeah, it's just very nice. Yeah, and I make it sunken too, so it's its own little area. Nice tall roofs you can look up. It's very open and wide. And so here you can see I'm making the pool house, or the extra cabin outside, and it will look kind of like a floating building on water, and so that's kind of cool. And this is so like you can bring like guests or something, and they have their own little space that they can have, and it has a bathroom. It doesn't have a kitchenette or anything, it's just a bedroom and a bathroom, but it's kind of like a nice separation. Or if you wanted to rent it out to someone else, they could rent it out. But yeah, and so back to the story of the storyline behind this house is, so they built, like I said, the people who own most of the land here, they built a nice big cabin so they could have their own piece of their land to themselves, a nice big place that they could enjoy. And they kept building and building hell these amazing ideas, and they didn't realize how expensive it was. Maybe got a little bit into debt, so to get out of debt, they decided to rent their beautiful cabin out to people so they can make back the money. And so here I'm making a big walk-around jetty type thing that will go around the pool. And it's just kind of somewhere you can, in the morning, just walk around and look out the view a little bit away from everyone. Just in the morning, I think that'd be nice. Or at evening, look at the sunset. It surrounds the pool house. And then you can see, and it outlines the pool, so everything inside plus the pool house, that will be where the pool is. And then there will be a hot tub in the middle, a hot tub island. Thought that was kind of cool too. I fill it with rocks. And then there I'll put like a little seating area with a covered roof. You might have saw in the beginning when I did my little video. Yeah. So right now I think I got all the windows on the exterior, kind of the whole color scheming in the wood and the brick, and not the brick, the stone. And I moved this back because I felt like that the room needed more room. Because that grand room, you don't want it to be super cramped with this fireplace, because the fireplaces aren't that big in this game, they're just kind of little. So I didn't think the fireplace really needed to be that like into the room. It could be back a little bit. Here I was going to put wood around it, but I didn't really like the look of it, so I think I just get rid of it in the end and just have it be stone. Yeah. So here I'm adding the flooring. I make lots of wood. Another thing that I think is really, like, I think when I think of a big fancy lodge and very rustic, kind of like in Alaska or the Sierra Nevadas or Colorado, lots and lots of columns. So I put a lot of columns in this build, and sometimes they'll and when you're in live mode they disappear when you zoom in, so it looks kind of weird. But like in build mode it looks really good, and I think put lots of wood columns around the place, lots of stone columns. Yeah, I fill those up with stone. Some more columns. Put some giant columns next to the grand entrance room to support, because I feel like it'd need a lot of support, because there's that huge room with lots of glass, which doesn't provide a lot of support. It's also trying to get a little realistic on this side. Yeah. And so here I'm adding in some steps down into the living room. And here I'm going to add the fireplace, just trying to find it. And yeah, the fireplaces, I wish they had more like big, kind of like fireplaces. I wish when the outdoor retreat came out, they had like a big stone fireplace. That would be so cool, but they didn't. So here's some columns I'm adding in, the brick ones. Kind of like separates it really nicely, yet it's still very, very open. Very open room. Looks very rustic. Rustic. I have wood floors on most of the place, except for that bottom floor. I think I put stone down there, yeah. And yeah, I use that stone and then that wood floor, and that's it. I don't use any other color scheme. So here, what I did is I wanted to make a basement because it's a big fancy lodge, so I wanted a sauna and a movie room downstairs. So I decided that this could be its own separate thing, and I could open it up to the bottom, so you could, from that main floor, you could look down into the bar. I just thought that kind of looked kind of cool and fancy, and it was like a big open room. And so yeah, I removed the floor, do all this, put a gate there, and it looks pretty cool, I think, and I like it. It just adds a little more character to the lodge itself. And that's where the bar / library type room is going to be, and the sauna and the movie room. So yeah, you can see here I was adding those columns in because I wanted to be realistic, and like those had to be there for the structure of the building, so you couldn't get rid of them. I also put another bathroom down there. I usually forget a bathroom on the main floor, like a powder room or whatever, and I don't know, I never find any space for them in a lot of my builds, I think. And so yeah, I had to put a bathroom down here so you don't have to like walk downstairs, which, yeah, I don't know. Just wanted to add another bathroom so you didn't have to like walk up into the movie, and not the movie, the bedroom bathrooms. Be kind of awkward if you did. So yeah, here I'm adding all the textures to the wall. So, and adding the, yeah, and I use that kind of plaster and wood. I think that looks kind of good, and also it's a little, so it wasn't like all wood, and it was a little fancier, because if it was to be all wood it'd be really dark and kind of, it wouldn't look that fancy, so I put some white in there to contrast all this. So here's the movie theater room, nice giant TV. Put these nice Craftsman chairs. See, those are supposed to be like Spanish, but I think they look really Craftsman, so putting some carpet down there, and there's the wood flooring. Yeah, it's the movie room. That's the sauna room, and I put some stone down there, and it's stone walls. And I think the packs you need for this are, I kept it pretty minimal actually. you need spa day, outdoor retreat, and base game. I think that's about it. I don't think I used anything else. I didn't use any get to work either. I tried. There were some really good get to work items, so I was like, oh, I don't want to use it because I feel like I use a lot of packs in my builds, and I feel it's unfair for people who don't have all these packs and they can't have all the content for their game, so I try to make it as minimal as possible. So here you can see I added in those lights, and those also look very Craftsman to me. I don't know if they like designed this stuff for outdoor retreat and then like made it Spanish, but they don't look very Spanish to me. Yeah, add some wall lights on those columns there. Add a little bit of light there, and then that front room in the entrance, so that the archway, you can't really, like, that can't be its room, so I had to put a little 2x4 room in there. That's kind of like, and I made it kind of like a mud room, so you could like hang your coat or your boots if you went out hiking, and so you don't have to track in all the dirt inside the house. So when I furnish it, I put in some like little decorative objects in there and make it look like there's boots and sweaters and stuff. So here I put some more pillars in, of course, and I put some lights on the pillars because that great room is really dark. And even though I added that big chandelier, and I thought that chandelier looked really good, upstairs the lighting didn't really work. Like, it didn't flow downstairs like it should have. So I had to put lights. I put lights there, and then at the end, like the lighting contrast you'll see in like the furnishing build, I think, or the last one. Between like the bottom floor and the top floor, you could there's like a fine line, and one's like super dark and the other one's like really light. So I put like those fluorescent lights behind the the fireplace, and it kind of makes it so it's a little bit lighter and not as obvious that the lighting engine does not work. So I'm putting some more lights on those columns. So I did that using the move objects cheat. Move objects on, bb.move objects on. Put that down in the description. So here I'm adding some more columns. I wanted to add columns everywhere, like I said, because I thought it just made it look a lot more rustic and really nice. Here the columns were being a little sassy, so I had to fix them up and straighten them out. There we go. And then another thing with the columns is I couldn't put them some places because they turned black because of the lighting. So I had to keep them, I had to take them away. And then other places they were too close to doors, and they made the doors look really like, they made the doors really close, and they made it look like you couldn't get into the door, so I had to take them away. I'll show you upstairs. So here I was trying to fix, and I deleted the whole floor. It was kind of scary, and then I was like, why don't I just undo this? So I undo it. There we go. Yeah, adding that place. Wanted to fix those columns up so I could put some. See, they're cooperating now. There's the staircase right there, downstairs. And putting some columns downstairs because I feel like that would need a lot of structure because of the forces from all the different angles. So I made all the exterior walls of the basement stone. It's probably a little stronger than the wood. So there's the master bedroom I'm putting the columns in right now. That whole side is going to be the master grand suite. Then the other side will have 3 bedrooms in it and a bathroom. Yeah. Putting some more columns in to add a little more character and detail. Yeah, I really like this build. It'd be so cool to go to a house like this in real life, just like these giant Craftsman cozy lodge type deal, and you could roast fires, do all your stuff, then come home to this great place. And also adding some more columns in for structural support. And I kind of forget about the stairs, and I'll add them in a little bit. And they're kind of off to the side, and they don't really fit all that well, but I didn't really put them. So yeah, there you can see there's 2 small bedrooms, 1 bigger bedroom that has those big windows in it. Those smaller bedrooms make one of them a very simple, just rustic Craftsman style looking room, and then the other one's kind of a kiddie room with kiddie items. Kid. So there you can see I put more columns in, put a little bit of stone. That's the bathroom. Putting all the doors in. And yes, that's that. I think we're gonna finish up here pretty soon. So yeah, here I'm just adding some more paint to the walls. More to the outside. Yeah, but I think that's about it. Not sure what to talk about anymore. Just adding some more doors into the sauna and the downstairs room. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have an awesome day. Goodbye.